Wreck My Podcast!
Rev that engine and ride into the night with us as we rewatch the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider movie. Just don't stare into his eyes on this week's Wreck My Superhero.
Wreck My Podcast!
You're tuned in to the Wreck My Podcast, where we take things you might think were cool back in the day and tell you they're not. Especially in this episode, I'm here with my guest. He only wears leather pants. It's Cam.
I do, and
Yeah.
they make my butt look great.
Padunk. He's got one eye and no nuts. It's Gregor.
Heck, is the back okay?
I was hoping you would use that one for Craig.
Yes, he's all out of mercy. It's Joe.
Look into my eyes.
And I'll take my martini with a side of jelly beans. I'm your host, Jordan.
Also, what is that?
Well,
Yeah,
he's
that
also
was
like,
weird.
I don't drink alcohol. It gives me nightmares. But
In one
sugar
line.
and caffeine is totally fine.
But they don't even talk about it.
They
No.
don't explain it.
Like,
he
you
just
think
jingles
it's gonna
around
be
his
this-
jelly bean
But,
glass.
yeah, you think it's going to be this thing? and
That's
it
what they called me in
doesn't-
high school.
jelly bean glass?
Jelly bean glass.
Jiggly jelly bean.
Jiggly jelly beans. So, guys, we watched Ghost Rider, if
Yes,
you
we
couldn't
did.
tell here. You ready? Ghost Rider. This stupid thing with the hand.
What was that?
I don't
So,
know.
I could tell you
Yeah,
exactly
tell me
why
what
he did
that
this.
is, because that was the thing I hated, not most, but a lot.
Okay, so my mentor, as I mentioned before, is Christopher Coppola,
Yes.
who is Nick Cage's brother.
Uh-huh.
We call him CC.
You know, CRC.
Wait, how does that work?
Nick Cage is not his real
So
name.
Francis I know that. Francis Coppola, what's his full name?
Francis Ford Coppola.
Francis Ford Coppola, thank you, is his uncle.
Yes.
So if you say Chris Coppola is Nick Cage's brother,
Yes.
Francis Ford Coppola is also Chris Coppola's uncle.
Yes.
So that means
Francis Ford Coppola
so Nick
has a brother.
Cage's last surname is actually Coppola?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
He picked Cage because of John
That
Luke
makes
Cage,
sense,
right?
Because of Luke Cage,
Yeah.
and he didn't want to have the Coppola surname. And
Yeah,
see if
okay,
he
makes
could
sense.
actually
But it
make
also
Cool.
fits
He
'cause
couldn't tarnish that.
It
name.
also fits
Yeah.
because out of his whole career, he's only had a couple of good movies.
Oh, that is true. Just a
Raising,
Coppola.
Raising Arizona.
Yes. That leaving Las Vegas.
No, what you call
Gone
Lord
in
of
60
War.
Seconds.
Lord of War.
is my
Gone
favorite.
in 60 Seconds
Nicolas
isn't even
Cage
that
movie.
good. It's just it's doable.
Yeah,
but
it's
Lord of
passable.
War
It's
is
effable.
fine. Wasn't Family Man pretty good, or The Weatherman, or whatever that one was? I
The
remember
Wicker Man?
Weatherman. No.
That
It was
movie's great.
Weather. There's one where he goes.
Please? Keep going.
There's
Invisible
one-
Man.
No, he was not. He was the invisible guy.
Sorry, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
She's the man.
Hey,
She's the man.
He's the man.
Spider-Man.
He almost played Green Goblin in Spider-Man, right?
That would be amazing.
Yeah, he almost was
Over Willem
Dafoe.
Oh,
which
my
would have
gosh.
totally worked. But no, he was in that movie where he had a crappy relationship, and then he did like the whole "It's a Wonderful Life" switch, where they showed him what his life would have been like
Oh, it's
in
one
a
of
different
those?
thing. Yeah, I think it was called The Family Man or The Weatherman, or maybe both of those are actual
Yeah.
movies
Man
he's
Man.
in. I don't know.
It's just the man.
Man.
So-
Anyway, continue.
According to Chris, here's some like insider information. According to Chris, and when I met him, Nick Cage has like a weird, bizarre obsession with Elvis. And
That makes sense why he
He-
talks like that.
He
Then
channels Elvis in a lot of his things because he wants to be as performative as Elvis. That's one of his big things.
I-
Yes, when he's
I-
going like this,
then
when
I-
he's moving
I-
around and doing that thing, and he's talking like this.
I think the problem is if he's channeling Elvis, I think he's on the wrong channel.
He's not very
Yes.
good. He doesn't have to be good at it.
No.
But yeah, that's his whole thing, is that Nick is Elvis 24/7.
So is Nick Cage planning on dying on a toilet with a drug overdose too?
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, like, when I met him, he was like, I don't know, looked like he was like 20 minutes to that.
Oh my gosh, I would
Wow.
love to meet Nick Cage
And how long
just
ago
for
was
the
that?
purpose of like realizing that he is probably as crazy in real life as he is in
He
his
is.
movies.
He's nuts.
Yeah.
He's nuts.
So
Right.
I would just want to meet him just for
gotta
that purpose.
I
And
do-
his brother's nuts. Like,
oh,
my
really?
mentor's crazy.
Oh,
yeah.
that-
And they sound
Crazy
identical.
awesome.
Can you imagine
Oh.
having like a teacher sound exactly like Nick Cage in your class and be like, Mr. Zeilinger, why don't you come on down? I'll teach you how to do this. Like, that's the whole time. That's just how they sound.
I
Question.
think you should stay after class.
Question.
Yeah.
True or
That's how they
false? Ain't nothing like a hound dog.
False. And incorrect, but it's high praise.
In the
Have his
ghetto.
blue suede shoes.
Dude, it's crazy. That family's ridiculous.
Okay. Anyway, that's cool that you got to
I-
meet them or
Yeah.
meet him.
I do have to give him a little bit of props. Like, he does get to make out with a lot of attractive women in his movies.
Also, hang on. Let's talk about how.
Is he a good-looking guy?
No. How the hell did Eva Mendes question if she's pretty or not when Nick Cage
Oh
stands
my
her up?
God.
Oh yeah, I
And-
know.
And that's so written by a guy. I'm
100%.
sitting next to Corey, and she goes, "Well, I hate this movie."
I'll
now."
tell you this right now. The guy who directed this movie also wrote the screenplay, and like he was the only writer and director. Like
He was
no one
the
else
ghost-
wrote.
and-
no one wrote it. There wasn't a ghost.
there wasn't a
on this?
ghost writer on it at all. No.
and he is a fellow 3 first name guy. They're all terrible people. I should know.
Oh, you looked up the director?
No, it says it at the end. Directed
Yeah.
by
What's his name again? It's
Kevin.
No,
Mike-
Mark
Michael
Steven
Craig?
Johnson. Mark
Yeah, I know
Steven
what you mean.
Johnson.
Mark Steven Johnson.
So, hot
Johnson
take.
actually is the last name.
Hot
Never
take.
mind.
Joe loves this movie.
Hot take.
No.
I don't like Eva Mendes. I don't find
Yeah.
her attractive. I
I don't
don't
understand- I don't
like her
understand that.
acting.
I don't really find her attractive
She's
either.
not a good actor.
What?
I will tell you this though.
the other guys.
I think she's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. Actually, though, like she is gorgeous. Young Eva Mendes actress.
Oh my
even
gosh.
hotter. She's from
Yeah.
she's from Miss March.
I was like, whoa, who
What
is
is
that?
Miss March?
You've never seen Miss March?
It's
Uh,
Horse
Is
stupid
that a
as hell
calendar?
movie.
Horsedick.mpeg?
That's not a calendar.
Oh no! So it's this really bad movie about
It
this.
should have been made by National Lampoon, but it
It's
wasn't.
National
Okay.
Lampoon level, but like Chris Robinson's in it. He's Horsedick.mpeg. It's hilarious. And so
Who's
this
Chris Robinson?
The black.
the
oh,
black
that's
the black guy from
like,
The Office.
that's
not
Craig-
Stanley.
Seth
That's
Rogen.
Craig Robinson.
Craig
Craig
Robinson.
Robinson.
I knew who you were talking about, Krager.
Craig, same
Craig.
thing. I get called it all
It's
the
your
time.
own name.
Yeah.
And you didn't even say Greg. You said
And I've
Chris
actually- yeah,
Robinson.
You didn't even say Greg. You
You said Chris Robinson. Chris, whatever.
It's not like I've met him or anything. I did. But anyway,
Lawrence, Chris.
I'm not gonna spend the whole time like talking about this, but like
His
basically
name is Greg Robinson.
basically the main character like is like a virgin, but he's like dating this girl. Then he falls down the stairs at his high school senior party. He's in a coma for years, and then when he wakes up, she's a Playboy model.
Okay.
And she's Miss March.
How long ago did this come out?
Like
Solid.
2004.
2007.
Okay, but,
2008.
oh,
I'm just saying that's my guess.
It's
based on
it's
the
a
premise.
bad movie, but
It's terrible.
it has some funny parts. In
It does.
Like Craig Robinson's
You almost said
character.
Chris again.
I know. Craig Robinson's character, like he's like a rapper, and like his song is like, Oh wait, we're on the wrong podcast. I can't say that.
I'm a bark. What?
No,
a bark,
just-
bark, bark, bark.
Yeah.
It's I'm gonna blank your blank while I blank your blank.
That is exactly it.
I'm gonna sand your Diego. Okay, so, guys, have you watched this before now?
Yes.
Yes.
So
No.
Cam's the only one that's a no.
So this is the first time.
This is the first time I've seen
Ah.
this.
So good.
His G card was,
so-
was taken.
So Kreger and Joe.
Hell was that? Did anyone else hear a little laugh?
No.
No.
Joe smiling. That was definitely from his phone.
Yes, it was.
That
Oh.
was creepy
I
as
did not-
hell.
I didn't hear
It was a little
anything.
like,
Joe, you should have just said no.
oh my
He can't keep a straight face.
No, he
That's his
can't.
problem.
Yeah.
He can only keep a
okay.
bisexual face.
So it is a creepy laugh if you don't know what it's from.
Oh, that's a minion.
That was wrong.
Was that Barbara Ann?
Yep. It's not working.
I
That's what
would-
it is.
I would rather
I-
watch Ghost Rider than any movie with a minion in it.
Yeah, me too.
What's wrong with
Actually.
minions?
Everything.
I was not
They're
a
little,
huge-
they're little yellow capitalisms.
Yeah, and they make me. What'd you say?
they're little yellow capitalisms.
It's because they look like capsules.
Yes, and they make a lot of money. So, Kreger, Joe, what do you guys remember about this movie?
Eva Mendes is hot.
She gained extra weight to be voluptuous in this movie because she wasn't voluptuous enough for Roxanne's character from the comics, obviously.
Roxanne.
Wow, that hurt.
I
A
know.
lot.
I remember
interpret it.
hating it.
Yeah. What's funny is I mentioned to my aunt and uncle who are here, and they're bikers. I mentioned to them.
They're here right now.
They're here right now. No, they're in town. They're from Idaho. I mentioned to them they're the
Idaho.
people that love guns and they ride Harleys. Those type of people. Cam's favorite type of people.
now, who's this person that said you were the hoe?
What?
Idaho.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So anyway, I mentioned to them that we were watching Ghost Rider, and they're like, "Oh man, that's a great movie," and all this stuff. And I'm like, I don't remember anything about this movie. And then when I watched it, I went, "Yeah, they would think this is a good movie."
I think this
How,
came
though?
out.
Have they never seen any movie that exists before?
No, they watch a lot of movies.
This
This
is
is
the only movie
still
you've-
better than that Parents.
all
movie
movies
was.
have to. All
It's
movies.
not.
It is
This is not
so
better.
much
No
better.
way.
Hang on.
Parents was way better than
this-
Parents
this
was terrible,
Parents
and I
was
fell
way
asleep.
better.
Now here's a
Karen,
question:
I fell asleep in this too.
Is this the worst superhero movie?
No, not by
No.
not by a long
Then what is?
shot. Well, okay.
I would say.
I will tell you why.
Actually, no, I know what it is.
I will tell you why I give this one a little bit of a pass more than other ones, okay? I'm going to give you some of my things I liked about it. I like the bright comic book vibe they have where it's almost like an anime like Speed Racer. I really enjoyed that.
Poorly
Thought that was
executed.
good.
Continue.
Not in every scene.
you had me
some
at-
scenes,
you
but
had-
a lot of scenes it was
You
fine.
had me at Speed Racer.
Yes. And then I give it a pass because this was at the time when superhero movies were just all the same formula of, hey, look at this guy you know from a comic. Wow, cool. There he goes. And that's about it. You
Yeah.
know, so I was like, okay, they weren't really they weren't swinging for the fences in any of these kind of movies
Completely sober watching this last night.
for the
okay?
first time. The
Completely
first movie
sober.
of this podcast.
I had to be sober. I was making risotto from scratch. It's very time sensitive.
Chicken scratch.
I looked over at Corey 3/4 of the way through and I went, "What's this movie about?" I still have no idea.
Okay,
I finished the whole thing. I don't know what it's about.
Every name. So I learned more about this plot doing my research for the movie than
Than the
watching
movie.
the movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
so there's a town called like San Venezuela or something
Yeah.
that I had no idea about. I like nothing made sense except that wow, a guy turns into a skull with fire. Whoop-de-doo. And they never really explain him either. It's like, so is he the devil's bounty hunter, but he's also able to do what he wants, and he's just allowed to decide that I'm not giving it back to you? Like,
That's
what
what
none of it
the
made
devil
sense.
Yeah,
Corey-
the devil can't take it back. And he was like, "I'm taking it back," and he's like, "No."
No.
The devil's
It's
like, "Damn it!"
That's it. That's
He,
all
like,
it takes to
slams his
defeat
stick
the
on the
devil.
ground. He's like,
and I don't think
found my-
You
at
least the devil like understands what consent
well,
is.
and it's not actually the devil. His name is Mephistopheles.
Well, yeah, Mephisto.
Mephisto, yeah.
It's another name for
It's
the
me,
devil.
okay.
it's me manifesto.
Mephisto.
like the Streetlight Manifesto
Yeah,
song.
like
you know-
Mephisto
Mephisto's
Cafe.
Do you know what he
I
was?
called him Mephisto's
Do you
Cafe
know
in
what-
my
do you
notes
know
at
what
one
it-
point.
do you know what it was when he was a kid?
What?
Me keep these still.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys. So Kreger remembered Eva Mendes. Joe remembered it being bad. I remembered a motorcycle, and that was
Yeah.
about it.
Well,
so
I remembered it like because when this came out, like I was young and impressionable, and like was still like I probably was still riding dirt bikes when this came out,
yes.
and so like I still was like, oh, like bicycles, like dirt bikes, motorcycles, I like this. So like that aspect of it was like, oh, this is kind of cool. But like rewatching it, I'm just like, oh, I didn't realize
This
how bad
movie
it
came out
was.
in 2007, which seems like a long time ago.
It's the year we graduated.
But that
high
was
school.
also the year that V for Vendetta came out.
Which was way better.
Amazing comic book movie.
Also,
I think they're
it's
kinda
also the year
comparable.
that
No.
Black Devil Doll came out.
Black Devil Doll did come out 2007.
Also, this movie cover right here looks like the cover on like a N64 cartridge.
It totally does.
It's because this is the video game cover.
Is it
that I
really?
pulled from. Yeah.
Oh, it totally looks like it.
I pulled it from the video game cover.
And
Okay,
in my opinion, it seems pretty off the
let's talk
chain.
about some things we
Likes and
Oh my gosh.
disliked.
Let's talk about some things we noticed this time around.
Noticed.
The girl who played young Roxanne was in an episode of How I Met Your Mother.
Yes.
By the way,
She was Miss March.
she what?
And she was Miss March.
Yeah, you said Miss March. She plays in, I think, the episode where Barney's getting the perfect week, and she's one of the girls from that.
Okay.
Young Johnny looks more like a young Tom Cruise than Nicolas Cage, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Mhm.
They just
Yeah.
had the same eye
And
color.
also,
Yeah.
I feel like that actor only plays young other actors in his roles.
I didn't even really look him up.
I've seen him like once or twice before.
He could play a young Chris Evans.
My
Yeah.
question is, who actually thinks Nicolas Cage is cool? Because he always plays these. He always plays these
Oh.
like quote unquote cool guys.
Jordan.
But I'm like, who thinks he's cool?
Your aunt and uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Touche.
my,
Touche.
my friend Tracy
Touche.
loves him, but I don't know if it's ironic.
But seriously though, it's like Gone in 60 Seconds, Ghost Rider, Lord of War. Like every movie he plays, he's supposed to be like not every movie, but a lot of movies he plays supposed to be
Actually,
the
Lord
cool
of War,
guy.
he's not supposed to be the cool guy, which is why I think it works on
I thought
him.
he was supposed to be like the really smart dude in that one. No, am I forgetting that movie?
Have you guys seen the worst Nick Cage movie of all time?
Is that the one about
Deadfall.
Oh, never heard of it.
Okay, I'll show you.
Do you remember when he did like
Okay.
the Christian movie, like the one about like,
Knowing?
Is that what it's called? Knowing?
No, it was about the world ending, and then
Oh, I
Adam
remember
and Eve
Knowing.
go off to another. It does have a scene in that movie that gives me anxiety every time I watch it.
I will
You
say
guys-
the
it's-
CGI in that movie is phenomenal.
Yeah, there's the scene of the plane crashing, and
Yeah.
it's one long shot, and it gives me so much anxiety because it's like 5 minutes long without a cut.
Well, you
and it's
also
just
hate
people.
being on the
yes,
plane.
but it's just like people like coming out of the wreckage on fire, and him like running in, and I'm just
The
like,
worst part about that scene is there's a guy dead on fire on the floor. He runs over, grabs a blanket, and throws it on top of him, and then keeps running.
but
It's
the
like,
dude
wait-
was like dead already.
No, I
mean,
know. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
What's the
why
point
even
of putting the
bother?
fire out?
Yeah, why even bother?
The smell.
Could you guys imagine if Nick Cage was in Die Hard?
I would watch the heck
The
out of
face
that.
you do
Jordan
it-
just
can-
made.
I
If
would
you
watch
guys
the
are
heck
watching
out
the
of that.
video, you need to zoom in on yourself right there because the face you just made was so organically exciting.
Yeah, I
you
would
were
be
like,
so excited for that.
Can you do a Nicolas Cage impression saying "Yippee ki
oh, hang on. I have to. The only way I can start is if I say Mr. Molidor because that's how Chris Mr. Molidor, yippee-ki-yay.
I would want to see a lot of movies with Nick Cage replacing the lead role. Although I heard that Nicolas Cage was in a movie called Moms and Dads recently that's supposed to be a really crazy out there horror film. I have it written down for the podcast, so maybe eventually we'll watch that one. But anyway,
on Nicolas Cage month.
yeah, Nicolas Cage month. Another thing I wrote here is the acting in this movie is impeccably Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
so Nick Cage.
Very much so. Terrible CGI, although a lot of the movie felt super colorful and cartoonish.
Some of my favorite parts were the practical fire effects that they did, like when they were
Yes.
taking steps and stuff. Like that looked cool. And then the CGI just fell
CGI
flat
was
because they did
so
not look the same whatsoever.
No.
You know
So
what?
bad.
I actually didn't mind the CGI that much because the movie already felt dated to me.
Yeah, well, it's weird because this
Yeah.
movie felt like a movie that came out in 2001, not 2007.
Yes.
Yeah.
It did.
Was bad. Nick Cage's accent just comes in and out whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes he's Southern, sometimes he's
Well,
not.
what one thing that kind of got me is like, is he turned on by burning in flames? I don't understand. Like, what's going
Oh,
on here?
you felt like his reaction was more orgasmic than in
Yeah.
pain?
Oh, I thought
I mean,
you were.
both could be the same.
I thought
Yeah.
you were making a penis reference. Is he turned on?
Where is the penis?
Were you
reference?
watching his leather pants? They don't hide much. So
No.
I want to know in this movie, how do injuries work for Ghost Rider? Because he's Ghost Rider, he gets stabbed by Guy. When he's not Ghost Rider, has to get sewed up.
So-
later on, he's Ghost Rider, gets shot a million times, becomes Johnny Blaze again, no bullet
No bullet
holes.
holes.
Yeah,
So-
that makes
It went
sense.
through.
It's
because
because
all of those-
the skeleton.
All of those bullet holes were plot holes.
Oh,
No,
son!
it makes total
It's a
sense.
metaphor.
No, it's very
It's a metaphor.
it's very simple. Like when he is Ghost Rider, he is invincible. When he is not Ghost Rider, he's a normal
But
person.
he still had the cut.
But he had the cut.
'cause he got stabbed when he was Ghost
Ghost
Rider.
Rider, and when
And
he
then had to
became
get
Johnny Blaze,
stitched.
he had to get stitched by Sam
Sam
Elliott.
Neill.
Oh, I must
Sam
have missed
Neill.
that.
Sam Neill. Sam Neill. Again, I would love Sam Neill to be here for this. He cannot endorse this cemetery. After further consideration, I cannot endorse your
So-
cemetery.
Yeah.
Another question I have is that Sam Elliott says demons aren't allowed on hallowed ground, yet Blackheart is just walking around churches. Pretty sure that's hallowed ground. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It could be.
Lots more plot holes here. Guys, did this wreck superhero movies for you?
No, because
I've never liked superhero movies
Okay.
anyway.
So it just kept your disdain for them alive.
This is probably one of the worst ones I've seen.
Okay.
I didn't consider it a superhero movie, so I don't associate it with the genre.
I mean, he's an anti-hero. Still a
Yeah,
superhero.
I don't remember
he's
seeing
just
any ants.
anti.
Yeah,
I am anti this.
anti this. Joe, what do you think?
In my opinion, this is the second worst superhero
I'm curious what your
movie.
first worst superhero movie
Green
is
Lantern?
now.
Actually,
Green Lantern's
I've never
definitely up
seen
there.
Green Lantern.
Oh, it is god awful.
The
What?
one that I would place as the worst superhero movie ever made.
Infinity War.
No,
Just kidding.
the what was it? It came out maybe 3-4 years ago. It was the remake of the original
Fantastic Four.
Four.
Oh, you mean Fan-Four-tastic Four?
yeah, fantastic.
yeah.
That movie is atrocious.
I didn't
it's
see
pretty
it,
bad.
and I want to because of how bad everyone says
Every
it is.
Fantastic Four movie's bad.
No,
And
but
that
this one
bad,
is
bad. No,
Can
I
we-
saw it.
worse.
What
it's
about-
worse than Spider-Man 3. It's
Yeah,
worse than
it's bad
than any
bad.
X-Men movie.
What
It's
about
terrible.
Batman v Superman: Martha? That movie was pretty bad.
What's wrong with Martha's colon?
Martha? It just reminds me, we need a meme.
Why are you saying that
We need
name?
a meme of the chocolate guy from SpongeBob going, Martha! Martha!
Martha's colon sounds like a weird, like Midwesterner thing you'd have to pull off the freeway to go see. It's like,
I
there's
live
like
off of
the world's
Martha.
largest ball of yarn, like biggest thermometer,
Ant
Martha's colon.
Martha, Martha, Martha. It's always about Martha.
Oh my gosh. So here's some things I have to say about it. I didn't enjoy it very much, this
No,
movie.
no,
it's
I
not very
did
good.
not like any of it.
It was very generic, and I could have cared less. I didn't know who 90% of the characters' names were that
Yeah.
were in this movie. Didn't care to know who their names were.
I wonder how true this kept to the comics.
Hey, Joe Janero, let us know how
Yeah.
true this kept.
Yeah.
Because I've been paying more attention to Robbie Reyes instead of Johnny Blaze lately, so I don't know. But I imagine that there's some consistency with the comic there, because it seems like back in the mid 2000s, all they did was like the origin stories, and that was it.
Yeah.
I did like when he turned the word garage into rage.
Oh my! Because there's a movie called Rage with Nicolas Cage.
Is it really?
There's a movie called Rage.
With Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage is the main actor of a movie called Rage.
Oh, that's great.
That's a thing. I'm not
Guys, you want to know how bad this movie is? Let's watch the trailers.
lying. Oh no!
God damn it.
Johnny Blaze, no one has ever attempted such a distance before. 300 feet from field goal to field goal. What's going through your mind right now?
You look really good. I got lucky.
Luck don't cover it, JB. You got an angel looking after you.
Maybe it's something else.
All you have to do is sigh.
Forget about family. Forget about friends. Forget about love.
You will be the writer for as long as you live.
I'm not doing it. You have no choice.
Story goes that he'll be normal during the day, but at night, in the presence of evil, the writer takes over.
You deserve a second chance.
Blackheart's coming to create hell on Earth, and you have the power he needs.
Stay away from anybody he can use against him.
Roxanne,
Don't you care about me at all?
you have to leave now.
I'm not going anywhere.
Any man who sells his soul for love has the power to change the world.
I can smell your fear. I'm gonna take this curse and use it against you.
We had this rat shopper. It was all flames and stuff. His face was a skull, and it was on fire.
On fire.
Like,
Looking for someone.
I'm the only one who can walk in both worlds. I'm Ghost Rider.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I feel like my skull's on fire, but I'm good.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot about the
I also
Rebel
like that
Wilson.
She like still does her same weird hand stuff.
same person.
Yeah. Good old
I'm
fat
so
Amy.
I'm so mad they took that part out of the movie.
What part?
The interview? That's
That's in the movie.
oh, I dozed off. Because I remember seeing her when like he saves her.
That's how I knew it was Rebel Wilson. Because at first I was like, it looks kind of like her, and then
Yeah.
she did that, and I'm like, oh, that's
Yeah,
her,
yeah.
that's her,
Well, no, because
That's how I knew as well.
see, like I didn't get to see the interview. I saw the part where like he saves her. I'm like, that looks like Rebel Wilson, but from the side profile, not as much.
Feels like my skull's on fire, but I'm good.
Whip it. Whip
do-
it good.
Okay,
You
so
do it
in re-
good.
This
Nicolas
movie-
Cage.
This
Yes.
movie is so
Never.
ridiculous.
Like,
Hang
so-
on. Okay, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some
Okay.
contentions.
So
contentions here.
a couple things. I actually wrote some stuff down. So
Dang.
yeah,
He hated it that much. He actually did work for
He
the
wrote
show.
stuff down, but forgot that Rebel Wilson was in
Yeah.
it.
He
no,
said,
I no
that
because the
scene was in
scene
it.
I saw, I wasn't sure, and I wasn't gonna like, oh, it's Rebel Wilson. Dang it!
What did you say? A bad word?
I just said I said the no bad word.
No bad word.
So I wrote down big dick move. You ride to where you're gonna meet the girl, and you look at her and ride away with a big FU.
Also that.
Yeah, that was like what.
Oh yeah, that was so dumb.
Yeah, that was dumb.
If you're gonna ditch her, don't show up and be like, hey, I'm here. Just kidding.
Yeah, that was kind of jerky.
Also,
Well,
he
he eventually realized to do that because that's what he did at dinner.
Yeah, you just stood her up.
And then I don't know why this just stuck out to me. I love it so much. Is heck, is the back okay? I love that so much.
Heck, is the back okay?
And then I also wrote, I have a dog with one eye, no nuts. It's called my crazy uncle with a vasectomy.
Dude, that's like a stand-up comedy joke from like New York and a failing comedy.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
But then also the biggest part that pissed
You would
me
have like a catchphrase. You'd be like, hey, at the end of that.
New Jersey. But the biggest part that pissed me off is like at the like when he's with Sam Elliott and like, I'll ride with you. I have one last ride. Let's do it. And they literally just ride there, and he's like, all right, peace, man.
I know.
I
thought that was weird too.
I was like, you're not going to help him? You're like,
I wrote that in there where it's like, so you rode with him just to drop him off?
No, I was like, you didn't even need the carpool lane. You were in the desert.
It was just spooky Uber, dude.
Yeah,
it was
so
spooky
Uber.
I was just like they're setting up like, oh, I'm going to help you find him. Get there. Stay in the shadows later, dude.
See ya.
There was no rhythm or pacing or rhyme or reason for the CGI skulls underneath their faces. There was no rhythm or pacing. There were times where you could make it punch and make it work. There was times where it just showed
You couldn't
up
control it.
and it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
It's stupid, too. First off, it looks dumb because the skull looks way too tiny for the big body.
Yeah.
Like, it looked really funny and stupid. Second thing is, I hate, and the new Star Wars movies kind of get into this territory. I hate the convenient learning of things where it's like 1 second you're like, I can't control it, and then you read a book, and 5 seconds later you're like, I can control everything.
You don't have to
like,
practice.
I don't. Yeah, like I don't think that's how it works.
I don't know. For me, my notes were, I like the Ghost Rider parts or the Ghost Rider scenes. I like scenes with Blackheart in it. Take everything that has Nicolas Cage and Eva Mendes out. Believe me, everything that has Sam Elliott.
Oh, Sam Elliott's the best.
Sam Elliott's the best. I thought the acting by the main protagonist, is that what it's called? Antagonist.
You mean Blackheart or Mephisto?
Blackheart. I thought Blackheart acted terribly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did too.
He was a
but
Twilight character.
I did too, but I liked the character itself.
Yeah,
that seems like something I
but
would want to be for
I
Halloween
think it made
one
it
year.
worse for me because I'm all like, that could have been done so cool, and you made it worse than it could have ever
Is
been.
Legion a big time villain?
Oh my gosh! So I said this thing. I'm like, Legion is the most overplayed 2000s movie reference ever.
Yeah.
It seems like every movie that has some type of supernatural anything to it is just like, hey, you know what's cool? Throw Legion in there.
Yeah.
This idea of multiple demons. No, I don't think Legion is I don't think Legion is even a Ghost Rider villain or anything.
And they
Legion
kill
is
him
a
in 1
X-Men
second.
character. It's Xavier's son.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
yeah.
Yeah.
They kill him in 1 second. They're like, I'm gonna fry up all your souls into like a little
He's like,
tiny
hey.
Again,
Mongolian
Hey,
hot
I'm
pot.
Nicolas Cage. Look into my blue
the
eyes.
souls are helping him.
Yeah.
They aren't his souls. So would he really feel bad? And the penance stare shouldn't technically work
No.
on him
No,
then.
I feel like it should, but it just takes away whatever he read from the
like,
contract.
it should take
It
away
would
the
kill
souls.
all the other souls.
Yeah, he
And it
should
would've been-
still be able to.
It would have been so
fight.
gnarly if those souls like kind of like embodied him or whatever, and he felt the pain of thousands of
Yeah.
souls over
Yeah.
existence, and that's what
He'd
fried
be
him.
like Obi-Wan when Alderaan blew up.
I felt a great disturbance in the Force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and were suddenly silenced.
Honestly, though, like
two movies, same tier.
I
Same
think
thing.
the biggest thing about this is at least we can take solace in that they ended it so there wouldn't be a sequel, right, guys?
He even says the name of the sequel in this movie. I'm the Spirit of Vengeance. Coming soon to a theater near you.
Has anyone seen the sequel?
No, and I will not
have not,
see it.
no.
Joe, have you seen it?
No, but I'm kind of curious now.
Well, I'm curious where they'll go with it, but
Yep, exactly.
Oh, it could be a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah.
One thing I do hate as well, I hate that face he makes. That's the same one from the movie Face Off, where it was when his skull first started burning and right when he was first turning into
Ghost Rider.
Ghost Rider. Those like that. Where his eyes get like super wide and he's just like yelling and
Wicker Man he does
It's the Nick Cage scream.
I absolutely hate that.
That's why
And you guys know that he's been nominated for an Academy Award
for what
film?
movie?
Raising Arizona.
Oh, okay, I can see that. You also know he's been nominated for like 500 Golden Raspberry Awards.
They're called
I actually haven't seen Raising Arizona.
The Razzies.
Also, I love at the end his The Rock eyebrow.
So bad. This whole movie. Okay, guys, let's talk about when this movie came out and who's in it. February 16th, 2007. Perfect for Valentine's Day. It had a $110 million budget, $45 million opening weekend.
Of course.
$228 million worldwide.
No way.
So it technically made its money.
Hold on.
2007, we were all dumb still.
That's true.
The fluoride was still very present.
I tuned you out a little bit. Did you
And
just say
superhero movies weren't
how
good then.
how much did it cost to make and how much did they make?
Here, okay, I'll give you a little insight. It cost $110 was the budget. The budget was $65 million until Nicolas Cage signed on.
Oh well, yeah, because he makes
his
so much
money that was required, and the thing that he was like, I need all these scenes to be in it that caused a lot more post-production work, raised it from $65 million to $110.
I wonder what scenes those were.
I don't know. But it made $228 worldwide.
That's a lot of money.
I need a few scenes where I make out with Eva Mendes.
Yeah, there you go. But she wouldn't do it, so in post-production they had to CGI it. So guys, you want to guess what it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Ooh, okay.
26.
Okay.
You got the critic score, 26.
Wow.
26%
Okay,
critic.
audience.
What do you think's audience?
38.
Score, I'm going.
38?
I want to
Because
go.
Idaho still exists.
Yes.
See, I wanted to go 36, but that's too close. So I will go 42.
Okay.
32.
48% audience score.
Price is Right, I win.
Because there's some people that still probably hold this in high regard. Because let's be honest, when we rewatched X-Men, that movie did not hold up.
Yeah.
It gets a pass because of when it came out, 2000. So people probably still hold this in higher regard only because it was still before the MCU created this idea that movies could be good, and like the Batman trilogy, the Nolan trilogy, and everything. Like, still back in the day.
You really hit it on the head. I could have sworn this would have come out 2000 as well.
Yeah, 2000, 2001.
It feels
for
like
sure.
a 2001 movie.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah.
everything in this movie was filmed in Australia, except for the reshoots that were filmed in British Columbia. No America whatsoever, except I think one scene in Texas. It was like one Texas scene.
Was it actual Texas, or is it just made to look like Texas?
I think it was actual Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was Texas, New Jersey.
What city is this? What city is this supposed to be?
I don't think they say.
Oh.
Nondescript Marvel city. So it's directed by Mark Steven Johnson, who also did Daredevil. There you go. Brett Cullen played Johnny's dad in this movie. You know him more recently as Thomas Wayne in Joker, that just won some stuff, or Joaquin Phoenix did. He was also in Persons of Interest for a while, which is a show I love. And he plays a congressman in The Dark Knight Rises, so he showed up in 2 Batman-type films.
He's one of those people who like
he's been in a million things.
He's been in so many things, but never
Yeah.
like a main role, like the dad in Ghost Rider.
Yeah. Peter Fonda was Mephisto, Jane Fonda's brother.
I
So
forgot that he's
Nicolas
a
Cage is
Fonda.
in it. I don't need to tell
Wait,
you what
what?
he's in. Eva Mendes plays Roxanne, Hitch, Once Upon a Time in Mexico, Too Fast, Too Furious, great movies.
Oh, I forgot about Too Fast, Too Furious.
Donald Logue plays Mac, who gets the most unceremonious death in any movie ever.
Donald Logue? Is he the childish Lambino? It's the dumbest joke I've made in my whole life. It was so much funnier in my head.
So I know him as Harvey Dent, or not Harvey Dent, Harvey Bullock from the Gotham TV show.
That's the same sound as
Wait,
Dent.
he dies
Bullock?
in this movie?
Yeah, remember Blackheart goes to his loft that's just always unlocked and kills him?
I must have dozed off.
Yeah, he's also in Zodiac and Grounded for Life. We have Wes Bentley, who plays Blackheart. You know him from Interstellar. He played Seneca Crane from The Hunger Games, and he's in the movie American Beauty. We have Ryan Johnson. No, not the Ryan with an I, but the Ryan with a Y. He's
Like,
a character
why
that
is
shows
he
up
in this movie.
He shows up as
Two
a
Ys.
waiter. I just wanted to mention that Ryan Johnson's in this movie.
Who's the slimy water guy?
Oh, I don't know.
I hated him.
Yeah, I don't even know his name. Rebel Wilson, Girl in the Alley, Bridesmaid, Pitch Perfect, and her best movie ever, Cats. So,
Actually, I didn't like any of those 3 demons.
Not me
they all
neither. They were
suck.
stupid.
The wind one looked like he's been in a lot of like B-roll.
He was just dusty.
Very.
dusty.
Would have been
Simply
sneezing.
Simply dusty.
As just friends say, simply dusty.
We got Sam Elliott, who played the caretaker / Carter Slade.
Only good part of this, well, like young Eva Mendes and Sam Elliott are the only.
Sam
two.
Elliott's the best, and anytime I see him in any movie, I'm just like, double douche.
A double douche.
Well,
I love that. I love Roadhouse so
when
much.
when the movie first started and he's narrating it, before I realized it was Sam Elliott, I was like, "Is this the Coors Light guy?"
I went when the movie started. I turned to Madison and I said, "Ghost Rider, it's what's for dinner."
I said to Corey, Ghost Rider, the banquet beer.
All right, we have David S. Goyer is an executive producer on here. Do you guys know who David S. Goyer is?
Is he Gordo's dad?
No, he's the guy who's pretty much written all the modern Batman movies.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Yeah, there you go. Other nerds will know who David S. Goyer is. Okay,
Nerds.
Joe Janero will know who David S. Goyer is.
As in, like,
Assemble.
the new, like, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah,
Okay.
Justice League.
All the good ones.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta say, the CGI wasn't as bad as them trying to CGI away Superman's mustache.
Justice League, I know I watched. I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in it.
That's me.
I feel
know
like
I've
you know.
seen it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know
anything
when you
about
drive
it.
home and then you don't remember driving
you
home?
got there?
It's that in movie
The
form.
only two things I remember is like, wow, like it looks like them trying to CGI his mustache away. What it looked like is like they couldn't convince him to come back to do this movie, so they got someone who looked kind of like him and CGI his entire face on another person. That's what it looked like.
I don't even remember who the main villain is.
I think there was
Dude,
a giant.
It's Legion.
I think there was a giant mechanical spider at one point.
No, that's Wild Wild West.
The only
But it's crazy because you're right. I've seen this movie. I don't remember a
was,
damn thing
was
about it.
Steppenwolf the bad guy because he was at the end of Batman v
I
Superman.
believe you're thinking of Step in Time.
Step in
Stepping
time. Step in time. Dick Van Dyke. Dick Van Dyke.
I was so happy. I was like, they might not remember.
Oh,
Step in
like
Time.
Mary Poppins. We don't remember. That. All right.
Well,
I'm gonna.
My favorite is on a bad movie. We can't get through it. 'cause
No,
we don't care.
We don't care. Every bad movie, we just talk about.
We went from
everything
Ghost
else.
Rider to Mary Poppins.
Play a jingle.
The Ghost Rider. I'm sorry. The bad movies are always the longer episodes
Yeah.
because we can't stay concise. All right, I'm gonna
stay on
play a
topic.
jingle real quick. Oh yes, it's time for Jordan to explain the movie quickly. A forewarning to all the kids that click the accept terms and conditions button without reading the contract. You never know what type of supernatural STD you'll get stuck with.
Oh, nice.
There you go.
That
That's
was good.
what this movie's about.
Do you think it burns when he pees?
Oh, yeah, duh.
Or does he pee when he burns?
It's definitely. Wait a sec. If he pees, can a skeleton pee? if a bear craps in the forest, if a skeleton pees on
Do you think
fire,
it just comes out like lava?
maybe.
Yeah.
Also,
no,
My
that's
penis
just-
is lava.
That's his poops.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, they're just like
Oh.
molten.
At least he knows what humans eating Taco Bell feels like.
Oh, all right, let's talk
Fire
about the
coming
plot.
out of his butt.
This is the plot breakdown.
We get a Sam Elliott monologue to start about a cowboy Ghost Rider.
The banquet.
Then we get a Ghost Rider Mario Kart credit sequence.
It's me, a Ghost Rider.
Then we get young Johnny Blaze and his dad are stunt motorcycle drivers at a fair.
At least we got matching hats.
Johnny loves a girl named Roxanne.
Ross-can.
Johnny's dad has cancer. Johnny makes a deal with the devil to take the cancer away in exchange for his soul.
But to Krager's point, she didn't actually sign or didn't actually really consent to it. He was just
I mean,
reading
he
it
was-
and then hurt his
he
finger
was
and blood on
going
it.
It was
to.
just a little prick.
Was he
he
though?
was going to. Although the cancer is gone, Johnny's dad dies in an accident because
the devil is tricky.
is one sly SOB. Yep, it's kind of like that movie with Brendan Fraser again.
Bedazzled.
Monkey
yeah,
Boat?
I thought it was Bewitched. Was it Bedazzled?
It's Bedazzled.
No,
it should be. It should be called Bewitched, but it's called Bedazzled.
Yep.
Don't tell. It's actually an underrated movie.
I think so too. I
I
actually
love
like
that
one.
movie.
Oh, that movie is
I
on
love-
the podcast list for sure.
Can we do that soon? Because I love
Yeah.
when he's a drug lord. He's
We're
like,
just doing Brendan Fraser month. We have to.
We have to.
He's like, Misa Stables? Misa Stables!
It's actually a funny movie. I like the girl in it. I can't remember her name. She's in the first Austin Powers.
Yes,
she's
Heather
on
Graham.
No, that's the second.
She plays
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yes, that's it.
She's like a
Good job.
knockoff Notebook Girl. What's her name? Mean Girls.
Oh no,
Amy,
no,
Rachel
Rachel
McAdams.
McAdams?
She looks
Definitely
nothing
not.
like
Rachel
Rachel
McAdams is a knockoff Elizabeth Hurley, if anything.
Yeah, but I don't think they look anything alike.
Elizabeth Hurley is queen.
I have a thing here. Did you guys notice that when the devil Mephisto is walking in, the lightning shoots, and then you see like a weird outline in his shadow? He looks like Randall, if that's his name, from Monsters Inc. The bad guy from Monsters Inc.
Oh, he totally does because he's all like hunched over.
Yeah, but he
and
looks like a little like lizard type.
So
thing.
he's got Steve Buscemi inside him.
Yes.
They're trying to do
Doesn't
like
everyone have a
I
little
thought he-
Steve
I
Buscemi?
thought- I thought he looked like the
Anubis-looking
hormone
thing, you know,
monster.
like those,
Oh,
They're
yes.
trying like the Anubis looking thing with like the skull with like the horns. And
Oh yeah,
stuff.
Doomhound.
Yeah.
Doom.
Anubis is technically like a jackal.
Yeah.
It's like a jackal person, but they just did it so bad. Hound Doom, the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's what I was
Hound
going. Oh,
Doom.
you just get it now.
Houndor. Houndor and
Houndor is
Houndoom.
the little one. Houndoom.
Yeah, Houndoom's
the big one.
yeah, that's what I was going
And
for.
him the ones that gives you handies.
So Johnny runs away after his dad dies and leaves Roxanne behind. Johnny is now an evil Knievel guy, always flirting with death, but the devil is keeping him alive.
Yep.
Again, what is with this hand gesture?
Baby Yoda. He was Baby Yoda before Baby Yoda.
So a Twilight character shows up called Blackheart and gets his
Yep.
demon buddies together to kill everyone in the most sequestered biker bar ever.
You know, all of them look like they should be in Twilight, to be honest.
100%.
There's a question about this.
Yes.
He calls Mephisto.
Mephisto.
Yeah, I was going to say
Mephisto
here.
is his father. but he's
Mephisto
not
Cafe's son.
He's
Yeah.
not the Antichrist then?
No, because I don't think Mephisto is technically Lucifer. Lucifer would be the head devil because Lucifer is a character.
Yeah.
And Mephisto is just another demon.
Mephisto.
Yeah. So Blackheart is Mephisto's son. How do they conceive? It's kind of like Palpatine having a kid. What? That's just weird.
Maybe Mephisto's like
Gross.
the voice of the devil, and he's the one that comes to Earth and like gets the deals done.
Maybe, but then I
Like
don't think
Little
so because
Nicky.
I'm pretty sure Lucifer shows up at some point
So
too.
he's like Little Nicky.
Yeah.
I think that they are not going by like the Bible spiritual stuff. They're just like, hey, here's a bunch of names. That's why they use Legion. They're like, here's a bunch of like weird,
Here's
like
demons in hell. This is how this
hell
works.
demon things that are from other books and stuff like that. You know, so
And the devil probably has a ton of kids.
Oh, probably
a bark ton
yeah.
of kids. But
It's
the
kinda like
Antichrist is
Zeus.
the one that is born from female blood.
He does
like,
not practice safe
It's
sex.
like reverse Mary.
Yeah, reverse immaculate conception.
Yeah,
Who's
it's
Mary?
like full on bone it down.
So
it's probably
I think there's something
calculate
about her.
conception.
yeah, it's Catholic. Yeah,
Calculate conception.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kathy Bates conception.
Blackheart. Was that in the movie Misery?
Oh.
So Blackheart and his buddies are looking for a MacGuffin, a contract that for some reason will help them take over the world. I don't know why. Roxanne shows up as a reporter to interview Johnny, and now that old flame, wink, wink, pun intended, lights up
for an
again.
old friend.
I gotta break this down for a second. Am I the only person when you say MacGuffin, I picture a really, really mentally challenged bird?
No, I just think all I think of when I hear MacGuffin
it's me, the Maltese Falcon.
It's like in Family
Oh my
Guy.
gosh. And that was Cam that said that. That was the most non-social justice warrior statement I've ever heard Cam say.
It's like in Family Guy when they have the mentally challenged rooster and the sun's coming up and there's the one rooster. It's like cock-a-doodle-doo. Second rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. Third rooster, good night, everybody.
Okay, so no, MacGuffin sounds like a failed Norwegian McDonald's menu item to me.
MacGuffin.
Y'all come down, try some
MacGuffin. We have cheese McGuffin and non-cheese McGuffin.
It's a whole can of smoked trout in between 2 buns.
Would you like it with sausage?
Wear your clickety clacks and get the McGuffin. All right, so we have Johnny.
Would you like to Swedish size it?
Yes, Swedish size it. Oh, I want to Swedish size it. So Johnny ends up turning into Ghost Rider because Devil Dad needs him to take out Blackheart. Transformation scene was way too long and indulged Cage way too much. Big body, little head, looks real stupid. Ghost Rider faces off against the Devil Dudes and kills one of them. Sam Elliott explains all the Ghost Rider stuff and that he's the Devil's bounty hunter, but also can do whatever he wants and can sniff out evil or something like that. I have a gripe here. There just happens to be no one on any of the streets the night that Johnny turns into the Ghost Rider and destroys the town pretty much.
And destroys the entire street?
The entire street, and no one just happens to be walking around.
Oh,
or
man,
in a
I felt so
car
bad
or-
for that guitar, for that music shop.
Yeah.
I was
Just
like,
for
oh
that
no,
guitar,
not the
for that one
guitar.
Well, I saw
Some random person's car is destroyed.
I saw the
And
saxophone.
I'm like, no, not the guitars.
I saw the saxophone fly, and my first thought was, "Oh, is he gonna play the saxophone like in number 23?"
That would
and I
be
was really hoping
sick.
Jim Carrey would show up playing the saxophone.
Could you imagine if like Nick Cage was like just like shredding on the sax while riding his
Yes,
like,
that would be the best thing ever. There would be
so good.
so many moist
Careless
panties.
whisper.
See, I always think of when I think of sax, I think of the sax man, like from the like foreign like music show. It's like, you never seen that one?
Anyway,
How did we get here?
the cops think Johnny is the killer and lock him up, but he turns into Ghost Rider because of all the evil people and breaks out of jail while leveling up his gear. He turned the word garage into rage. That's fun.
And he went
innocent. I wanted to know who that kid was.
I don't know, but he was innocent.
Is he going to show up in the
Token.
second movie? Oh, Ghost Rider stops the Blackheart crew again and kills one more of the Devil Dudes. Conveniently, Roxanne sees him and realizes it's Johnny. Blackheart kills Mac and uses Roxanne as bait for Johnny to bring him the contract.
He did write up a building. That was
He
pretty
did
cool.
write up a building.
Holy, this movie reminded me of going to a hockey game.
Why?
There's only one black person.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Which is not
That's
inaccurate.
No,
actually,
I was
now that
at
I think about it.
I was at a hockey game last night, and we're like, there ain't nobody.
Also, in this movie, there were way too many black people in the crowd for like stuntman show.
Oh
in
yeah,
Texas.
definitely, definitely. Although I do like that the person in the jail is like a white trash guy who's like, I went to your show to see you crash and you didn't.
Yeah,
So now
I
I'm gonna
spent-
take my money back and your life.
No, not even that. I only paid $10 and you didn't die.
Yeah, and it's like, wow, okay. Blackheart. Oh, hang on. Caretaker tells Johnny he has the Ghost Rider STD. He has the contract and gives it to him. Then they ride 500 miles on his Ponita with Johnny to drop him off.
I think it's a Rapidash.
It's more of a
Okay, it's a Rapidash. That's fine. Okay,
haberdashery?
final showdown time. Darkheart gets all the souls, but now Ghost Rider can use his Death Glare thing to kill Darkheart, so he wins. This scene was so anticlimactic. This was like
Guys.
the least epic showdown in
Won the
superhero
battle
history.
by looking at him.
You know what
Yeah.
make this better? Darkheart is gold member. I love souls.
Oh my god! So I was telling Madison, I'm like, you know, old movies like this just have the most like non-epic showdown fight scenes. And she goes, yeah, but the problem is they've course corrected too much. And I'm like, what do you mean? You didn't like 50 minutes of 500 people fighting Thanos?
Wasn't that Rent?
Did you just ask if that was Rent?
525.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, I like
Will you
500
light my
people
candle,
fighting
Craigers? So Johnny refuses. Oh, that's right. The word Legion is in there. He becomes Legion.
He
I
says
don't
some
know.
contract.
Whatever. Anyway,
Contract
Johnny
that has no prefaces
refuses
to it.
give up the Ghost Rider, which I guess is something he can do, and is now going to use the curse for good, to the dismay of Devil Dad. Now he's got to leave Roxanne again and ride into the sequel.
Dang.
There we go. That's the movie.
When'd you
Congratulations.
When'd you change his picture?
After the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I like the
he
bike.
changed on his own. It's a moving picture. It's one of those talkies. It's a moving picture.
Wait, what are you talking about? One of them talkies? Tune in, watch Clone Wars.
It's the worst. I hate the narrator.
People aren't going to know what we're talking about until they listen to the post-credit
Patreon?
stuff.
Yeah.
No, I put that in the post-credit stuff. So you guys want to hear some fun facts?
The rebellion.
I'm going to move along. I'm not even going to play the jingle. So Nicolas Cage apparently had a Ghost Rider tattoo they had to cover up to play this role.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Hold
he has a Ghost Rider tattoo. I don't know.
Did he get it before this role?
Before, yeah. I mean, he's a huge comic fan, so he's had, like, he loves comic book
Didn't
stuff.
know that.
I don't know.
It would so make sense if he loves this.
Oh, yeah. He's the one who fought to play this.
Yeah.
Like, he forced himself upon this movie.
Like bare knuckle boxing fought?
No.
At one point where the writers and directors and everyone went, "Oh man."
you know who was supposed to play this guy from Chips? What's his name? Not Emilio
Ponch?
Estevez.
Guy Fieri?
No. Who's the guy from Chips? The original guy. Not Emilio Estevez.
No, it's Ponch. It's
What's his name? I can't remember now.
what is it? Eric.
Estrada.
Eric Estrada.
Eric
Thank you.
Estrada was in talks to play Johnny
I almost would
Blaze.
have liked this better.
Yeah. The skull of Ghost Rider was actually used from a 3D X-ray of Cage's actual skull.
So he has that tiny of a head?
That tiny of a head.
Nice.
Nicolas Cage's hairpiece took 3 hours to apply each day.
Jeez.
Jennifer Lawrence was able to get in full, like, Mystique gear in almost the same amount of time as it took to put one freaking hairpiece on.
That's bad.
Carter Slade is actually a character in the comics called the Phantom Rider, who was originally the Ghost Rider, but they changed the name to avoid confusion when Johnny Blaze came out.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who tries to stop Blackheart at the saloon is wearing an Abyss t-shirt, which is a villain from the X-Men. Travis Pastrana was the writer in the tour bus when they're watching the TV, and they're like, everyone's trying to do what you're doing. That was Travis Pastrana.
Wait, hold on.
A guy that Travis Pastrana.
No,
Remember?
just a video of him.
The video of him doing a jump.
Oh, okay. Like I love Travis.
I did
Pastrana.
like Rebel Wilson's shirt.
Amazing.
What was that? I
Says,
don't remember.
I leave bite marks.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, so that's all my fun facts. That's this movie. That's everything.
The most fun fact of the movie is that there is footage of a different guy doing motorcycle stuff.
Yes.
And it's a very likable
This
person.
is true. Yeah.
Now, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Can he become Ghost Rider anytime he's in a shadow?
Yeah,
Is
I
he
guess,
a vampire? You just can't go out in
Yeah,
the
I
sun?
guess the deal is that you can't do it when it's the sun's out or when
when
lights
it's
out or
Like when you're being
Sun's
touched
out.
by sunlight?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
Sun's out, guns up, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Sun's down, skull face.
Skulltown.
Yeah, Sundown Skulltown. I want that shirt now. Oh, love it. All right, so guys, did you know we're on Instagram?
Wait, what?
Did you know we're on Twitter?
Wait, huh?
Did you know that we're on Vine?
Are we?
No.
Oh.
We're on YouTube,
Can
though.
you still download that?
No, it's not.
No,
happening
Vine's
anymore.
gone.
We have a TikTok.
Yeah, we're
though.
on TikTok. It's just Joe and I lip syncing and dancing.
Yep, exactly.
So
Can we just have a TikTok?
Tune
of a
in to
clock?
figure out what our first song is.
Can we just have a TikTok of your Broncos clock?
TikTok on that clock. DJ, throw my something up. I've
Some
got
block up.
something song. Give me all the song. Damn it.
So anyway,
So
you can
close.
check out the show notes to find all the ways to support us, like
Show notes.
wreckmypodcast.com, where we have
Yeah.
an Amazon link, or our Redbubble store, or our Patreon stuff.
Our Redbubble stuff is so underutilized. There's
It
so
is
many
right
cool
now.
I was just
designs.
thinking about that. Like, I don't have any. I need to buy some.
I know I want the death metal shirt. I kept meaning to go back and buy it, and I just haven't bought it yet.
We gotta add more designs to it.
Yeah.
I know. I need to. Guys, thanks to Ben from Petrified Gumbo Music for making our intro song.
Thanks,
that guy's
Ben.
cool. We'll do a round table next week, most likely. And thank you to my guests for being here.
Yeah, man. Anytime.
Yeah.
I am here.
right before I leave the apartment today, I look at Corey and I was like, I don't really want to leave. I kind of want to sit here and finish my coffee. And then I went, but I'm not going to watch Ghost Rider for no reason.
For no reason. I know. It's so true. Finally, thank you to our listeners. We love getting wrecked with you. All right, bye.
Bye. I love you.
I like and I love you all.
Nicolas Cage.
Let's ride.
Boner Town.
Wreck My Podcast. Wreck My Podcast.
The opening guitar sounds like they're about to have the lead singer Julian Casablancas tell me that he wants to stop the world and melt with me.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
Watch, you'll see.
Ugh. Is that a Reservoir Dogs reference? Nope. Oh. It sounds exactly like it.
It sounds like he's gonna tell you to stop the world and melt with you.
The rhythm would go with it too. Stop the world and melt with you. Which I'm against, but you know, if you want to watch Clone Wars,
I started watching it. I'm doing it in that chronological order.
The one I told you not to watch, Kreger.
You made such a good argument not to. I did not. And
yeah, because when the writers are writing, they mean for things to show up at certain times, and when you learn about it too early, it's like watching the Star Wars movies out of order. You don't really care about Anakin because you don't know his tragic story by the end of it if you watch him in order of like chronology.
All right.
So that's why I'm like, you should always watch things as the writers intended it to be watched.
Makes sense. That I agree.
Speaking
There's
of Anakin,
only one complaint though that I have.
What?
It's the freaking narrator, man. Sounds like he's the guy from George of the Jungle.
But that's my favorite. That's my
You
favorite
have just
part.
ruined the
I
intro
hate
to Star
that
Wars.
narrator.
No, that's my favorite
He's
part.
the
At the beginning, it's
worst.
like, war is on the horizon.
I feel like George of the Jungle and the monkeys are about to come
George
out.
of the Jungle mixed with Walter Cronkite. This is what happened on Cold War.
Yeah, I
and
hate
this
the
is how the
narrator.
Cold Wars crumbled.
They had a devastating attack the other day, but the troopers got out, and they're going back to take another devastating attack now.
And after you watch this episode, go buy some Luckies and beat your wife. Because we're in the 50s, yeah.
Come on down to the ballpark, see? It's the worst. I hate the narrator.
I like it. I think it's good.
If we're going to do a Brendan Fraser movie, can we do The Mummy?
Mummy?
Can we do Encino Man?
Yeah. We should do a whole Brendan Fraser month.
He is such
Dudley
an
Do-Right?
underrated actor.
Yes.
Is he
I
though?
Monkey Bone?
I love Brendan Fraser.
He's underrated.
Can we watch
but
Monkey
he
Bone?
only plays the stupid characters.
Can we watch Monkey Bone?
I don't even know what Monkey
we watch
Bone
Monkey
is.
Bone?
Sure.
I'm
we'll
down
watch
for
Monkey Bone.
Encino Man.
We will watch.
Do you even know what Monkey Bone is?
No. That's why I said
Dude,
I
he's
don't
like
even know
possessed
what
by
Monkey
like a
Bone is.
claymation monkey.
Okay, I'm down.
Can we watch Monkey Bone?
Sounds good to me.
Are you my echo?
I'm an idiot. You're an idiot.
Oh, I did that too, and I got a dirty look from Morgan and her uncle.
What, they don't like the
Grinch?
No, they do, but they don't like me interrupting shows.
Yeah, I'd probably give you a dirty look too if you were talking through a show I cared about.
That's funny.
All right, you guys want to talk about Ghost Rider?
No.
Sure.
Not that you want to talk about it. Are we going to talk about
Yes,
it?
we're
Yes,
going.
we are.
What's Weed 2? Is that like the sequel?
Even weedier.
It's Weedier.
It's the squeakquel.
Weed
that-
2 Resurrection.
It's that new song by Meghan Trainor.
Weed 2?
Yeah.
No, it's Weed 2. Intervention.
Is that what you 2 turned into?
No.
Okay. So I'm gonna start
That
us off.
album come out free for everyone who has an iPhone?
Weed 2. No, this one's for everyone who has a Google phone. All three of them.
No, it's when Cam eats cheese and's on the toilet. Wee number 2.
Sounds like it should have been a Geico commercial.
Cam's like, no, not a man.
Do you squeal like a pig on the toilet?
Constantly.
Oh,
Oh,
Is that all you hear from Johnny's bathroom?
Constantly.
what?
Yeah.
What if you heard that and then Johnny calls you? He's like, "Man, I'm at the store," and you're like, "What? What is going on?"
He's like, "Hey,
there?"
dude, are we at a beer?"
You heard of Ghost Rider? Ghost Pig.
Oh, I'd watch Ghost Pig.
I would
Ghost
watch
Pig
Ghost
Rider?
Pig too.
I would watch Ghost Pig Rider 100%.
Is that like Spider Ham?
Yeah, he like touches the pig and it like turns into a cool skeleton pig. Oh, I'm in.
You stare at it. You do the penance stare to the pig, and it turns into bacon.
He does this.
No, I was about to say, like, he turns it like into the skull, and then the fire goes, and then Devil's like, I love the smell of bacon.
It's the stupidest thing
This
I've
was
ever
my-
seen
no.
in my life.
The stupidest thing was when he did this and then went to someone else.
Yeah.
Like when he was.
Well, he did
just-
this to himself, and then someone walks in. He does this,
Yeah,
and it's
turn-
like,
He can't
what are
point.
you doing? He has carpal tunnel.
I'll talk about that some more because I know Nick Cage.
Okay.
Well, my favorite part is when Sam Elliott turns on his flame as a writer, and Nicolas Cage's reaction. I had to rewind it. I went, "This is the worst acting I have ever seen," and rewound it.
The whole movie is kind of like that. Here, all right, let's talk about it.
My podcast.